The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, July 3rd. Luna's obsession grows, Liam faces the end, and Sheila spirals. Los Angeles is about to erupt with intense drama and heartbreak on Thursday, July 3rd, as The Bold and the Beautiful serves up one of the most gut-wrenching and shocking episodes in recent memory. With lives hanging in the balance and emotions at a boiling point, every moment matters. This isn't just another episode, it's a turning point for several beloved characters, and fans will be left breathless as secrets are exposed, hearts are shattered, and plans spiral dangerously out of control. The center of the storm is Luna Nozawa, whose world has slowly crumbled into chaos. Once a bright, hopeful young woman longing for family, Luna now stands on the brink of total emotional collapse. Her desires have warped into dangerous obsessions, and the consequences may be deadly. Luna's growing fixation on her half-brother Hayes has placed everyone on edge, especially Steffi, who is beginning to understand that something is terribly wrong. In her mind, Luna still sees herself as a victim. After all, she only wanted a chance to know her father, Finn, and her little brother, Hayes. She wasn't asking for wealth or power, just connection. But when Steffi, protective as ever, kept her distance and blocked that relationship, Luna spiraled. She couldn't process the rejection, and instead of dealing with her past traumas, she redirected her pain outward. She blamed Steffi for everything, her loneliness, her heartbreak, even the tragic events of her own making. It's a selective kind of memory Luna holds. She refuses to acknowledge the truth about what she's done. The deaths of two men, violent, sudden, and irreversible, should have been enough to force anyone to stop and reflect. But Luna refuses. She pushes the memories away, tucking them into the darkest corners of her mind. In her world, she's the wronged party. And that belief fuels the dangerous choices she makes now. Even Sheila, who knows darkness better than anyone, is terrified of where Luna's thoughts are taking her. Sheila tried to intervene, offering her granddaughter a second chance, a different path. But Luna didn't listen. She's gone too far into her own illusions. Her obsession with Hayes has turned disturbing, watching him at school, lurking nearby when she shouldn't be there, giving him gifts that are more about control than love. One of those gifts, innocent at first glance, set off alarms with Steffi and the rest of the Forrester family. It was more than a gesture. It was a signal. Luna wants to be part of Hayes' life, but not in a healthy way. And her actions have made that crystal clear. She's crossed boundaries, ignored warnings, and now she's pressuring others to help her get what she wants. On Thursday's episode, Luna forces Hayes' teacher to call Steffi to the school. The moment is chilling. The teacher, visibly uncomfortable and caught between duty and fear, reaches out to Steffi with a vague but urgent message. It's clear Luna is orchestrating something, and Steffi needs to be there. But Steffi doesn't yet realize just how dire the situation is. For all her instincts and maternal protection, she still sees Luna as troubled, not dangerous. That perception may change after today. Meanwhile, Sheila Carter is in full panic mode. After her last conversation with Luna, she felt uneasy. Now, after connecting the dots and learning more about Luna's presence at the school, that unease becomes full-blown terror. Sheila knows the signs. She sees the storm forming, and this time she's not the one who caused it. That frightens her more than anything. Because if Luna acts, if she does something irreversible, the guilt will spread. The Forresters will blame Sheila. And worse, a child could be hurt. Sheila tries desperately to intervene, but she's running out of time. And she's not the only one. Elsewhere, Liam Spencer is facing his own final chapter. The kind-hearted, resilient Spencer patriarch has been battling an inoperable brain tumor. It's a diagnosis that stole the future from him, but not his will to protect those he loves. Even in the face of death, Liam has stayed focused on others, especially his daughter Kelly, and the families who lost so much when the art school was destroyed. Liam did something beautiful. He transformed the Spencer Beach House into a new space for learning and creativity. It was meant to be a beacon of hope, a place where children could thrive despite tragedy. And it worked. The school reopened, joy returned to the children, and for a moment, Liam felt peace. But that moment is fleeting. Today, Grace visits Liam and brings devastating news. Her face, normally composed and calm, is lined with sorrow. She knows she has to tell him the truth, and she does. The tumor has spread. There's nothing more they can do. Time is running out. The news hits Liam like a wave. He's tried to be strong, tried to stay focused on legacy and love. But now, confronted with the finality of it all, he feels the fear creeping in. Not for himself, but for those he'll leave behind. What will happen to Kelly? What about Hope? And will Steffi be able to carry the burden of protecting both Hayes and the other children if Luna goes off the rails? Grace does her best to comfort him, but the weight is heavy. Liam has always been the one people turn to for support. Now, as he faces his own ending, he needs their strength more than ever. As the day unfolds, all these storylines collide in a whirlwind of emotion. At the school, Luna's behavior grows more erratic. She paces outside, clutching something in her hand, a note, a drawing, a memory. Her expression is unreadable, caught between rage and heartbreak. Hayes is inside, unaware of the danger that inches closer. His teacher keeps watch, hoping Steffi arrives in time. Sheila races through the streets, ignoring speed limits, desperate to reach the school. She can't shake the feeling that Luna is about to do something terrible. The thought of Hayes in harm's way is unbearable, and for once in her life, Sheila is trying to stop a tragedy instead of causing one. At the same time, Steffi receives the call and immediately feels the tension in her bones. She knows Luna isn't right, but has she underestimated her? As the clock ticks, the characters we love most are thrust into impossible choices. Luna's pain threatens to consume her, and the consequences may be irreversible. Liam's world is closing in and Grace can't save him. Sheila races against time to rewrite her own legacy, even as her past haunts her. And Steffi must summon all her strength to protect what matters most, her children. This is the bold and the beautiful at its most intense, raw, emotional, and deeply human. Every character is tested. Every relationship is strained. And the future hangs in the balance. Don't miss a second of Thursday's must-watch episode. Watch on CBS or stream on Paramount Plus, and witness the turning point that will reshape the lives of Luna, Steffi, Liam, Sheila, and Hayes forever. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, July 3rd, promise an emotionally explosive and heart-stopping episode that will leave fans on the edge of their seats. Set in the glimmering yet tumultuous city of Los Angeles, this installment is more than just another drama-filled day. It is a pivotal chapter that reshapes lives, exposes long-held secrets, and challenges every character in ways they never imagined. At the center of it all is Luna Nozawa, a once hopeful young woman whose life has spiraled into a nightmarish storm of confusion, pain, and obsession. Her journey began with an innocent yearning for connection, a desire to understand her lineage and build relationships with her estranged family. But those dreams have soured. Rejection, loneliness, and trauma have transformed Luna into a deeply troubled individual whose fixation on young Hayes Forrester is now both disturbing and dangerous. Luna's obsession with Hayes isn't just emotional, it's deeply psychological. She views herself as a victim of a cruel world that denied her love and belonging. In her mind, her desire to bond with her father Finn and little brother Hayes was never unreasonable. But when Steffi, protective and cautious, blocked those efforts, Luna's fragile hope fractured. Instead of healing, she clung to bitterness. She distorted reality, casting herself as a wronged soul and Steffi as the antagonist who stole her family away. This delusion has escalated beyond reason. Luna has committed acts that should have prompted deep remorse, two sudden, violent deaths that mark the beginning of her descent. But instead of acknowledging the horror of her actions, she has buried the truth deep within. Her memory is selective, she chooses not to remember, and in that self-created darkness, she finds justification for her every move. Even Sheila Carter, no stranger to twisted behavior, is shaken by what she sees unfolding in her granddaughter. Sheila once believed she could guide Luna back from the edge. She offered love, understanding, and even second chances. But Luna ignored every lifeline, clinging instead to the fantasies that now rule her mind. Her love for Hayes has turned into something sinister, a compulsion that disregards boundaries and raises red flags for anyone watching. On this intense Thursday, Luna crosses another line. She manipulates Hayes' teacher into contacting Steffi, using vague threats and emotional pressure. The teacher, clearly uncomfortable and unnerved by Luna's demeanor, complies but is left rattled. The call to Steffi is filled with urgency and fear, an unspoken warning that something is terribly wrong. Steffi, though protective and strong-willed, still doesn't grasp the full extent of Luna's instability. She sees a troubled young woman, not a genuine threat. But the events of today may shatter that illusion. As Steffi rushes to the school, she begins to sense that the situation is far more dire than she initially believed. Meanwhile, Sheila is racing against the clock. Her instincts scream that Luna is preparing to do something unthinkable. She's seen these signs before: obsession boiling into action, pain converting into vengeance. The idea that Hayes might be hurt is unbearable. For once, Sheila is not the cause of the looming disaster, she's trying to prevent it. That shift in role terrifies her, but it also gives her purpose. She speeds toward the school, determined to stop Luna no matter the cost. And then there's Liam Spencer. Amidst the chaos surrounding Luna, Liam is facing a heartbreak of his own. Diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, he has been living each day with grace and courage. Instead of wallowing in despair, he focused on building something meaningful. He transformed the Spencer family's beach house into a vibrant learning center, giving displaced children a chance to dream again. The center reopened recently, and for a brief moment, joy returned to Liam's life. He saw laughter, creativity, and the rebirth of hope in the eyes of children. But that light dims today. Grace visits Liam, her face lined with sorrow, and delivers the news he's feared: his tumor has spread. There are no more treatment options. The time he has left is short. The impact is devastating. Liam, the man who has always stood as a pillar of support for others, now finds himself in need. He fears not death itself, but the ripple effect it will have. What will become of his daughter Kelly? Will hope be able to carry on? Can Steffi bear the additional weight of protecting Hayes while fending off Luna's unstable behavior? Grace, steadfast and compassionate, does her best to comfort Liam, but even she struggles under the weight of such sorrow. Her presence is a reminder of love and care, but also of the reality they both face. Liam is not just preparing to say goodbye, he's trying to ensure that his departure doesn't shatter the people he loves most. As all these events unfold simultaneously, the emotional tension reaches its breaking point. At the school, Luna's erratic behavior alarms everyone present. She clutches a crumpled drawing in her hand, her eyes brimming with tears and rage. She paces outside, mumbling to herself, consumed by thoughts only she understands. Hayes, blissfully unaware, plays inside while his teacher watches the clock and prays for Steffi to arrive. Sheila, running red lights and ignoring her past sins, barrels toward the scene with one thought: stop Luna. She can't afford to fail, not this time. The possibility of losing Hayes to a tragedy she might have prevented is too much to bear. And Steffi, upon receiving the call from the school, feels her heartbeat quicken. She doesn't have all the facts, but her gut tells her the truth: Luna is dangerous. Not just emotionally unstable, but possibly violent. She rushes to her car, steeling herself for a confrontation she never anticipated. Time is slipping away. Every moment counts. The fates of Liam, Luna, Hayes, Steffi, and Sheila are colliding in a perfect storm of grief, fear, and desperation. Luna's world is crumbling, and with it, the safety of those around her. Sheila is seeking redemption, perhaps for the first time in her life. Liam is confronting mortality with bravery but needs the strength of his loved ones. And Steffi, ever the warrior mother, must act decisively to protect her children. Thursday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful is not just television, it is a deeply emotional, human story of love, loss, redemption, and survival. Viewers will witness raw vulnerability, explosive confrontations, and heart-wrenching choices that will echo through future episodes. Don't miss this must-watch chapter in the saga. Tune in to CBS or stream on Paramount Plus to experience every powerful moment as the lives of these unforgettable characters are forever changed.